Welcome to my garden. It's the month of April and everything is blooming. It is spectacular. For today, I've got a few things I need to accomplish. The first thing that I want to do is I bought a ton of new plants. That was my spring treat to myself, and I'm so excited about them, but I've got to get them planted. And the fun part for me is obviously I've got to place them where the light makes sense, but the fun part is the design aspect of it and sort of placing them where, or placing them and matching them up against existing plants in the garden. I love that part. So I'll be walking around and, place it here, no, place it there. So I'll be doing that. And then my landscaper taught me how to lay some irrigation tubes, so I've got to lay some of that down. I'll have to do it by myself today, so hopefully I'm up for the task. I'm a little worried about it. And then the third thing I have to do is just some light pruning and just a little bit of cleanup. I might transplant some of the existing plants just because now that their spring has arrived, they're more full, and I can kind of see that maybe some of them need to move around. I did start off as a gardener, so a lot of this was trial and error. So now I'm seeing the results, and some of them worked and some of them need to be moved around, but that's also the fun part as well. Got all these beautiful plants here. I've got probably about 10 smaller plants here, and then let me see, then I got this beautiful wisteria that I'm gonna have climb, and then I've got this, what is this called? It's like I think it's an oak leaf hydrangea, and I'm really excited about that. And then down below, I don't know if you can see, got a hosta, and then I have to replace one of my lavender plants that bit the dust this winter. Okay, so what I've got to do is I've got to move some things around that really don't belong here. I was learning and I didn't know, but now I do know. And so I've got to take some of these plants out, like 2 of them, and put them in more bright sun, and then I am going to plant the new ones. So here we go. So this guy needs to move. I need to move this out. So I'll find him a happier home. That's hard. This one was really root bound, so I had to break up some of the, I feel like I'm working out. Okay, I'm battling this plant. I can't seem to get it out. Not sure why. Oh shoot, I'm breaking it. Oh no. Oh my God, that was so hard. Jesus. You or something else. Gosh. Okay, I've got to remove one more plant. Actually, 2 more plants, but let's get to this one. Because I'm removing some plants and putting in the ones that should be in that space, I don't have to redo the emitters, luckily. I can just use the emitters that are already in place, which saves me a lot of time. So, okay, let's get this beauty in. That looks so pretty. It makes me so happy. Okay, 1 more, 2 more. It's a really tight space. We're gonna make it work. Okay. and got that in. That was easy peasy. Okay, I just planted this hosta, so I definitely need this sluggo. Otherwise, they're gonna eat it. Eat it alive. Okay, so mission accomplished there. Now what I need to do is I need to clean up this mess. So I'm going to clean it up and then I'll show you what I did. I'm really proud of myself that I was able to get the emitters in on my own and transplanted some plants and then put the plants, new plants that actually belong in this area of the garden, because it doesn't get as much sun. It gets morning sun and it gets dappled afternoon sun, so it's mostly made for shade loving plants. So let me get this cleaned up. I'm done with that side section, which I don't really give it a lot of love, but it's a really pretty section. It's always nice to have a little bit of a shade garden. So I got that all done, cleaned it all up. That was quite a workout because I'm working in a really confined space and I have to have a lot of stuff there. You know, I've got all the plants and stuff and tools, so it's a little tough. And then to get in there to add the emitters was tough, but I'm so happy with the way that it looks, so let me show you. She's a beauty. I love those really pretty flowers. They almost look like they're fake. They're so pretty. So planted that. And then this beauty here, she's really pretty and she's going to be really happy here. Then I planted her, and that's really pretty. That loves the shade and it's just happier. I've removed a couple of plants from the area and I think this is going to be a really nice one. And the last one here is this hosta. My only concern are the slugs, but I've put a bunch of sluggo around it and I think it looks great. So I'm really pleased with the way this side garden came out. Show you. Yeah, it's really pretty. Sunday in the garden, another beautiful day. I went to the plant store yesterday, which I had no business going to, but I couldn't resist. And so now I've got even more plants that I need to get in the ground, but that's okay. I'm excited to do it. So what I'm going to do, a couple of things. I'm going to get the rest of those plants into the ground, and then I'm going to clean up my fountain area. I had a bush there that just was not, it just kept getting infested and it never bloomed, and excuse me, it's obstructing my fountain view, so it had to go. So I took it down last night and I'm going to plant some other things here. So what I'm going to do today is plant my plants, set up the irrigation lines, and then do a little bit more pruning today. So I'm really excited. I won. Oh my god. I had to get this thing out of there. It was so hard. I had to use a shovel. I'm just sweating like crazy. But I had to use a shovel to break it. But you can see how thick these roots are. And then the last little piece, the resistance, was this last little thing that was just hanging on. Victorious! Alright, now I can start planting. So the next thing I have to do is plant this small section here. I've got 5 plants that need to go in, and I also need to then do the irrigation. So yeah, I've been wanting to do this for some time, so it's time to get it done. So I'm getting the hang of it now. So I just planted that bed, as you saw. I'm look a little crazy. It's really hot today, so I'm trying to stay hydrated. But I think I'm getting the hang of it now, so I'm just going to keep going. So I planted 5 plants here in this little section, and I also hooked them up to irrigation. And I did it. Let's keep going. Okay, this is the hardest part of the day, and this is the last thing that I wanted to do. My nose is running like crazy. I don't normally suffer from allergies, but for whatever reason, today is the day. But it's also really, really hot, so I'm trying to stay hydrated. I have a slight headache, which tells me I'm not drinking enough water because I'm so distracted with these beautiful plants. But the hardest thing that I have to do is, I'm going to move over a little bit, is back here, and I've got a trellis, and I've got a climbing rose that I want to install, and I've got like 4 other plants that I want to get in there. So this is going to be my hardest job, also because I'm really working in a confined space. I have to go to the center of the garden, which is hard because there's plants all around it, and I have to lay down some irrigation lines. So I'm not a spring chicken, so I've got to be really nimble, and it's really hard to maneuver, but home stretch, and then I can enjoy it. So I'm really, really happy that I was able to get all those lines in. I didn't have enough confidence in myself, but it's actually really, really simple. So let's do the final lay. So the last thing that I have to do, one of the last things, I've got most of the plants in. I ran into a little bit of complication because my landscaper had put some plastic down on a section, which I wish he wouldn't have done that, but it is what it is. So I didn't feel like cutting it because I really need to really study it a little bit more. So I couldn't plant in one section as many plants as I wanted to. But now the one last plant that I'm going to plant is, I don't know if you can see it back here, is this really beautiful rose here. The sun is really bright. I think you can see it. I can't really see the camera, but I'm going to get that into a pot, and I think I look a little crazy, but so I'm going to get that planted, and then I'm going to start cleaning up and take one last look and just sit in the garden for a minute. Okay. That was a little challenging, but that's done. Oh, I am so tired, but it's time to call it a day. I need to get ready for the work week. These are the ones that I didn't get to, but that's okay. I'll do that another time. I ran into a couple of obstacles, but overall feeling really, really just so happy to be able to spend the time in the garden, and sometimes you just don't get everything that you want to get done, and that's just the way that it goes. So I'm gonna go inside, I'm gonna take a shower. I know that I'm filthy, and my fingernails are filthy, but I'm so happy, and the garden is just looking so beautiful. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.